wonderful. Now, have you worked with a lot of people at conventions that are also Disney voices?
Yes. Like for this convention, it's myself, Rob Paulson, and Maurice LaMarche. So and from our group, we're three nice. They're the two who want to take over the world, and I'm the one who kind of ordered it to. Yes. But like Rob's done several like Disney characters kind of in their grouping. Maurice has done a lot. He's also like Mortimer Mouse on our show. So not a villain, but not exactly a good guy. Yeah, he's the grayscale, but he's so good at that. But I did a convention with Jess Harnell, who does a lot of Disney voices as well, and Bill Farmer, who's the voice of Goofy. So we've done some fun little things together, but I'm still getting my feet wet, so I'm hoping to do more conventions to see other people as well.
Yeah, that's super exciting. I kind of wanted to ask about growing up. Were you doing voices? Were you mimicking voices, creating your own? What were you like?
Growing up, like, I had a very thorough animation education, so my parents insisted, like, we're gonna watch all the old school Looney Tunes. They explained the jokes, explained, like, this is what it was like back then, so this is not something we joke about today, but this is a product of its time. Same with all the old Disney cartoons, the Disney movies, the Don Bluth movies. So I watched anything and everything, and I was a mimicker for sure. Like, that was my hyper-focus, my hyper-fixation. So listening and repeating back, or imitating it, or trying to sound exactly the same. That's something I've always done. And it would get me in trouble in school, because if kids would make fun of me for whatever reason, I would just kind of mimic their voice back to them, but you really mean it, baby. And then I would get in trouble we would both get in trouble, but mine was defensive and funny.
So I had to make a career out of it.
Exactly. Where are they now? I don't know. Doesn't matter, because I'm doing what I love, and I'm having fun, and hopefully everyone out there is having fun too. Yes, this guy right here. Hola, Donna.
Hello. Oh, you look wonderful today. Where's Daisy? Out shopping with your credit card. Oh, she does that a lot. Stanstrom? Perfect.
That's a good costume. Good job, Donald.
Yes. I was gonna ask, what was the first voice that you like nailed? You're like, I got it. This was perfect.
I think it was. Does anyone remember Chicken Run?
Yeah.
I love Chicken Run so much. So we would watch that movie, and the Scottish one. You know, I fixed up your ring with a jiggy and I ripped up the rubber. It was something like she said it really fast in Scottish, and I would just do that. And then like she said, she fixed your wing, and it just would make my dad laugh. I'm like, oh, that's something. It's making your dad laugh. And I knew I wanted to do more with animation after I saw Aladdin, because I knew who Robin Williams was at the time, because I saw Hook like a year or two earlier, and I knew, okay, I want to be an actor and make someone laugh the way he's making me laugh. And then I saw him in Aladdin, like, I want to do it through cartoons. I didn't know you could do that. Like, I didn't put two and two together. And so from that point on, like, well, how do I get involved in animation? And I grew up in San Diego, so there weren't a lot of acting schools or a lot of junior theater in our community. So it was just kind of like, okay, what can public school give me? So it was a bit slower. Like, by the time I was in high school drama, like, a lot of people had done junior theater, so I didn't like get cast anything. And then when I went to college, usually the freshmen had done all the shows in junior high, so they were just more advanced. And I was still like at the baby stages. So it was a lot slower for me than the average actor. But I prefer to take it slow so I can internalize it and I can really know what am I trying to do here. I have to learn all the rules before I break them or bend them.
Like, you know, time is kind of, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you get to do what you love now, so.
And you won't see your own growth. Anyone who does any type of skill, you're not going to see your own growth because you live with yourself every day. But if I came back a year from now, if I was just starting something and then let's see what happens a year later, everyone else who hasn't seen you in that time, they'll see a huge growth. But you'll just think, have I? Maybe I've walked forward a little. But that's kind of part of that growth. And as long as you're enjoying it, as long as you're enjoying that journey to the destination, then it's worth your time, it's worth your effort and your passion.
So from what I was researching, like Disney has always been a love of yours, and you were actually like working for Disneyland?
Yes, I have worked at Disneyland. It's 2003, right? So like 20 years ago, I had it in there back when like Brother Bear first came out. My years go by when the Disney movie came out, because that's how I can best. Yeah. And so I worked there all the way up to the pandemic, and I did about 6 months juggling Minnie and working at Disneyland. because it was still a very well-kept secret, because after Lucy's passing, it was about a month and some change before I got the role. And we caught up on a lot of work that had backlogged while she was sick. And up through March, and then the pandemic happened, and like, oh, I guess we're all just kind of on pause. But nobody knew at the time. It was like a fun little secret. But I think working there really helped the people in charge make that decision, because I knew about the Disney brand, I knew about our characters' integrity, I knew about, you know, how important it is to people, because Disneyland or Disney World is the place where you can meet that person, especially for little ones. You can meet the person they love so much right there.
It really is the most magical place on
It
earth.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, people will put their 3-year-olds down and they run out with their arms stretched to go hug Goofy or Donald, and like that's what it's about. This is where they can meet the person who made them feel that way. And that's the core of my choice as an actor. Like, I want to make other people feel the way I felt when I saw my favorite actors.
Sure. Out of curiosity, what's your favorite quality about Minnie?
I like how she can get sassy. So there's some fun moments where it's like Kaitlyn will pop out a little bit, and Lucy did it as well. She had these fun moments of just slightly a double take, like, Minnie, are you good? Like, oh, I'm fine. But we had one part, it's still my favorite thing. There was one episode of, I want to say it was Mixed Up Adventures, and Daisy thinks that her grandmother is a superhero, because she reads these comic books, and her grandmother has a costume in her home. So her brain tells her, oh my God, my grandmother is the superhero. It's all true. Even though it's just a costume for a costume party. But you don't know that yet. And so she thinks, I need to take over as the superhero. My grandmother's been kidnapped, obviously. Minnie and Cuckoo Loco, you're gonna be my sidekicks and use your superpowers. And then Minnie's response, the typical response would be like, how do we do that? Because we don't know. But the take they chose was just me, where she's, how do we do that? Tell me. Like, she's just kind of like, where are you taking us, Daisy? Please, how do we do that? I'm dying for you to tell me. And it's like, that's a me response. That's how I respond to people. And they let it go. They let it in the show. So that was the moment for me, like, okay, she's kind of becoming mine. Like, she's everybody's. But I really wanted to honor Lucy, how she built Minnie up to be who she is from the 80s.
Sure.
And definitely the lovely women who provided her voice previous to that. But it was definitely something like, I want to help modernize her for today. She's doing pop songs now. She's branching out into different social medias. So it's a fun new way to take Minnie out into the world.
Of course, you're still honoring, you know.
That's my number one thing. I want to make sure I'm honoring both the character and Lucy herself.
This is so magical. I'm sorry, I'm like getting emotional. Out of curiosity, what has the process been like recording for Minnie? Because obviously during the craziness of the world, I know a lot of things did shift from being in the studio to some people recording at home. So what has the process been like for you?
We were in studio, and that was just kind of like, you go into the studio. But when the pandemic hit, we all had to learn really quick how to record from home for anything. And I was in a roommate and I, we were in a one-bedroom apartment, because both of us were in unsafe living situations. So we were like, what if we just kind of go get a one-bedroom, and like, you know, we'll curtain off the living room as a room for him, because he's very easygoing, and like, we'll just be here for a few months until we can get our feet back under us. And a few months after that, we were looking around and I was able to get Minnie, and we were just about to move to like a lovely 2-bedroom place when the pandemic hit, and we were trapped in that 1 bedroom for a year and a half. And we made it work for sure, but I had to tell him, like, the only place I can put like a little ramshackle booth is this little alcove, because the 1-bedroom floor plan was the exact same as a 2-bedroom, but you just didn't have that second room. It was like a balcony. But due to the blueprint, there was this little alcove that just kind of existed where the wall would have been, and that was a perfect place to install foam and curtains, and I just made like a really ramshackle booth in that alcove. And I bought like this kit online on Amazon, like a Rode NT1 microphone. It came with a mic stand, a pop filter, and I bought a little like a tray you can screw on to put on my iPad for scripts. Like, so I bought all these little things to make it work. And the real fights were like, you know, is there a dog outside? Is there a car going by? Did the fridge turn on? Is someone mowing lawn? Did someone else's AC turn on and you can feel it? So it wasn't the best, but engineers are wizards. So they took my audio and really made it shine. And if there was something that really was not good, we would just re-record it another day. And there's been some projects that came out like last year from other actors where you can tell like, this is not strong audio, or they couldn't save this audio. And we did the best we could with what we had, for sure. So I certainly give that actor grace and those engineers grace. But I heard that and I'm like, whew, okay, good thing my stuff is better than that. But I did that and never had too many big concerns. And so when we did move to our 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom deluxe apartment, the deal breaker was I need a walk-in closet, because I'm gonna install that booth in the walk-in closet, and it's passed every test, so it's good, yeah.